to say good morning to everyone here. I bring you warm greeting from the cool and beautiful city of Chicago in Illinois, United States. I'm very delighted to share in this conversation today on the International Day of the Girl Child, though this conversation should have happened last Saturday, but it's still timely anyway. It's a good time to talk about it. It's a good time to share the visions of girls for the future. So I believe that the theme for this year's International Day of the Girl Child, which is a girl's vision for the future, it's actually coming at the right time, right? It's coming at a time when girls are eager to push the boundaries. It's coming at a time when girls are ready to stand up for the future, right? So it's a timely one. And to this effect, I want to share on the topic I have titled Girls Creating Solutions for Global Challenges. But before I go further into that, I would want to talk a bit about myself. So my name is Dr. Amaka Okafor. Currently, I serve as a postdoctoral appointee at the U.S. Department of Energy's Argonne National Laboratory. Here at USDOE, I work as, in charge of the high performance computing systems. High performance computing systems are supercomputers. Anyway, these computers, they perform tasks in billion times more than the normal computer you know about. So before joining the U.S. Department of Energy as a postdoctoral appointee, I received my PhD from the University College Dublin. While in Dublin, my PhD was mainly focused on the applications of artificial intelligence, IoT technologies, and machine learning in environmental monitoring. I was mainly focusing on monitoring the carbon footprints from the peatland region. Before I went there for my PhD, I received my master's in computer forensics and cybersecurity from the University of Greenwich in London. And I'm a fellow of the Schlumberger Faculty for the Future. I'm also a fellow of Google Women Techmakers. Quite recently also, I was recognized as a young researcher for the Hildeberg Laureate Forum. Well, the Hildeberg Laureate Forum is a forum of laureates and young researchers, both from computer science and mathematics. So every year, the laureates and the young researchers come together for a crossbreed of ideas, right? So laureates of field marshals in computer science, laureates, those who have received the ACM Turing Awards, the Nevalina Prize in computer science, the Abel Prize in mathematics. So these are the laureates coming together for a fusion of ideas in research to breed new research ideas, both from the young researchers and the laureates of the past, the other generation anyway. Also, I'm a lecturer and also an alumni of a computer science department in Federal Polytechnic, Nekede. So, yeah, that's me. Talking about the topic I have titled Girls Creating Solution for Global Challenges, right? I believe that this is the time for girls, right? To stand up for themselves, which they are already doing. These days, we see a lot of girls, championing vital causes. You may have Malala Yousafzai, right? The young Pakistani girl who, even at the age of 15, stood up against the Taliban for banning the education of the girl child in Pakistan. And she continued to champion their cause, even when she survived an assassination attack, which even drew the international community more to her cause. In 2014, she was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace, the Nobel Peace Prize for championing girls' rights to education. So there are a whole lot of challenges, right, that is facing the world today. A whole lot of challenges, from climate change to health and well-being to education, poverty, inequality. The world today is in turmoil, right? If we are talking about environmental sustainability and climate change, if you are in tune with the news, right? The most commonly reported news around the world, apart from the forthcoming US election, will be issues relating to environmental crisis, right? We hear of hurricanes, earthquakes, ravaging several parts of the world. As a girl, you can take the lead, right? Girls are known to, they've got the power. When even in families, you see women being that manager that God has created them to be. In families where we have crisis, when women step in, peace comes in, right? When they step in, everything turns around for good. So as women, as girls, we got that inborn power. We got that power. We got that trait, God-given power to transform situations. So as girls, we can offer solutions to many of the problems that are facing the world today, right? In terms of environmental crisis, environmental change. During my PhD, I worked on environmental monitoring, right? That was a research that was born out of interest. And because I was so passionate about applying my skills in AI to solve global challenges, to solve problems that we face on daily basis, right? So I took that, very passionately, and it attracted the attention of, several people. That project alone, because of that project, I earned the fellow of Schlumberger Faculty for the Future. So what am I saying? Why am I saying this? I'm saying it because we can we can work to transform situations, right? That project too actually got the attention of the European Union Environmental Protection Agency, and they supported us with a lot of fundings. For instance, we got several equipments that what one of those equipment worth 100,000 US dollars. That equipment was procured for my PhD project by the European Union Environmental Protection Agency. It's a flux tower. You can always check the price. A flux tower, it actually monitors the influx of carbon and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And then in health and in well-being, right, there are so many aspects. I expected to talk to girls who are tech enthusiasts today. I wanted to see those girls. I wanted to talk to them, right? So there are a lot of fields that you can channel your tech skills: health and well-being, education and digital inclusion, design of e-learning platforms. You can channel your tech skills towards creating solution for poverty reduction in terms of building tech-driven businesses and solutions for small enterprise. So just like I mentioned, but I have a background in computer science, so I tend to drift towards that aspect a lot. So there are skills, tech skills this time around. I'm talking of tech skills that are necessary for the future. Right? So as a girl, if you have the opportunity, these are emerging trends in tech that you can pursue, right? Cybersecurity, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, blockchain, data analysis, robotics. There are a whole lot of them. Understand? A first glance at the internet would give you a list of these skills that may be necessary for you to prepare yourself for the future. So yeah. So like I said, still I know this message would get to the girls, right? So you hear this name a lot: cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, forensics, so many of them. But how do you prepare as a girl to acquire the skills necessary for those fields, right? You start from the beginning. You improve your coding skills. Python is a programming language that is very easy to learn. Anybody can learn Python. Understand? These days, in fact, in the Western world here, coding is not just for those people with tech background. People in the arts, people in social sciences are all equipped with very strong, when I say strong, very strong coding skills. Why? Because endeavor. For instance, artificial intelligence can be applied in diverse areas. In agriculture, for what? Maybe for improving crop yield, for marketing a crop produce. Artificial intelligence can be applied in aeronautics, in automobile, several fields, in medicine, right? You must have heard of telemedicine. I tell you a story. When I was in the polytechnic, right, as a student. Then one day, we were having a community event in my village, right? So they invited some of us. I was almost either the my penultimate year in the polytechnic or the final year. So I got there and I was prepared because in my community, I come from a community where the education of the girl child is often regarded as a waste of time and resources. So, I was coming there to speak up for all the other girls, right? So I came with a short video, right? In that video was um, a telemedical procedure that was performed. And one of those that performed that procedure was, a woman. She's a doctor, a woman. So I brought it after my talk, or the talk, I played that clip. And then while the clip was playing, an old man, he stood up from where he was sitting. He came forward because we have this projector that projected this. He came forward and he was looking at the screen. He was, as he was watching, you can see the interest. He asked us, he said, is that a woman who is doing that, who is performing that operation? We said, yes. I said, I said, yes, a woman is doing that. And then she looked at me and looked at all the people and told us, she said that Shioma, her daughter, will go to school so that she can be able to do such. Yes. So with that, I knew I achieved my aim to stimulate their interest, to support girls, right? To support the education of the girls. So that's it. Let me not deviate to that point. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this as a girl, get the required skill, right? It would serve you right. Python, Java, these are the foundation. These are the foundation, right? These programming languages are applied in while I was in school, right? Though you all will bear me witness, we didn't really get all that we need, right? We were shown the way. Our lecturers were fantastic, right? They showed us the way, but it was left for us to go through the path they showed us, maximize whatsoever we made in this path. So most times we go above the way to purchase equipment for ourselves, for personal use. You see, students, we come together, we get tools like networking tools, right? I remember when we were in school, we got crimping tools. We got crimping tools. These are for networking. We got cables. We got RJ connectors. We are experimenting with this on our own. And this actually served me well. When I went for my youth service, I was deployed to work in a pension firm administration, in a pension firm, right? So I went through a series of interviews, right? But one of the interviews, I think the final one, I was presented with this networking tools like the RJ45 connector, I meant the cables. And then I was asked to build a crossover cable that we can use to connect one computer to the other computer. And then within 3 minutes, I was done with building that tool. And then, that was very fascinating to the interviewers because they said they interviewed 5 candidates previously and they didn't, get anyone who was able to pass this stage. And that was it. That was how I got that opportunity. So make sure to prepare. When you prepare, opportunity comes, you grab them. When I was doing my youth service, I I I got this contract even as just coming out from school, right? I got this contract. Somebody approached me, the man who is today my husband. Then he approached me, said, you are very good in tech. We have this contract. We need to train about 100 unemployed graduates on IT skills. Will you be able to do that for us? I said, why not? And then I was, given this contract while I was still serving, right? I was serving in a PFA. It was quite difficult to manage both, but somehow I found a way. I contacted another colleague of mine who is also in Nekede. Even currently, we school together. He studied electrical electronics engineering because we had to take that training for morning and afternoon. So I called him over. I said, please come and help me. He came, he would do this training in the morning hours. And then by afternoon, during my lunchtime, I would go and, do that same training. Why am I saying this? Because of the skills. You prepare, acquire the skills, opportunities will meet you. That is what I am trying to say. So prepare for the future. Attend community events, right? Conferences, seminars, workshops, events like this, they open up ways for collaborations, right? When you attend community events like conferences, many of us are, within the school community, right? A whole lot is going on. There are a whole lot of conferences, a whole lot of seminars, workshops that are being organized. Take advantage of those, attend, speak if you have the opportunity, present your research, talk about it, right? So that's it's an amazing opportunity. Again, build professional networks. How do you build professional network? When you attend events of such, you meet people who are also in the same background, who are also having the same background as you, or even beyond. Because most times we build network across field. It mustn't only be in your own field. Networking across field, right? These are very, very important. Then join professional association. There are a whole lot of professional association in many fields. For those of you in tech, the Nigerian Computer Society is there, the computer professionals, the IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. These are very vital association that you should belong to as a student. And above all, get a mentor, right? Get a mentor for yourself. We cannot despise or we cannot even underestimate the importance of a mentor in the life of a student, right? So mentors are very important. Get someone who maybe it's important to have a mentor who is in the same field as you, who can guide you as you journey through your academic journey or through your career journey. But it's also very important also to have mentors who are not even in your own field, right? People who can, who have this experience, who can be able to guide you as you move, because learning from their experience, there are so many mistakes that you would be able to avoid. So that's it. Prepare for the future. Yep. So I curated some opportunities. Like I said, I got several opportunities I wanted to share with the students and every other person that would benefit from this. So as a student, right, look out for opportunities. There are several opportunities that you can grab, right? One of which is the Generation Go-Go Scholarship. Generation Go-Go Scholarship, this is specifically for students in EMEA region. So EMEA will be Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So every year, Google awards these scholarships to undergraduate and graduate students, right? The monetary, the money involved here is about 10,000 US dollars, right? I actually benefited from this scholarship during my PhD. It's about 10,000 US dollars, right? But the money aside, the network you build from this is the ultimate, right? Because with this, you get the chance to, meet several people who are in this field, who are in tech too. So who you can actually, work with, collaborate on several projects. There is the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. This scholarship would grant students the opportunity to receive a joint master's degree in various schools, right? So this could be an inter-institution, right? So it could be a joint scholarship from an African and an European university. The Erasmus Mundus scholarship, grants that opportunity. So it's also a very good opportunity to grab. Then the Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future Fellowship. This is a fellowship I'm always very passionate to talk about. One, because I am a beneficiary of this opportunity, and I am a fellow of the Schlumberger Faculty for the Future Fellowship. So the Schlumberger Faculty for the Future Fellowship actually grants opportunity to for PhD research and postdocs, right? So you get your PhD funded by this fellowship, right? It's specifically for women. So it supports women who are willing. In fact, it helps build up women who would become powerful role model in their communities, women who would be able to contribute towards policy changes, not only in their home countries, but in organizations where they find themselves. So that's the goal of the Schlumberger Faculty for the Future Fellowship. And then the Commonwealth Scholarship is also there. Many of the scholarships I'm talking about now, this is the time, they are all open. Majority of them are open now. So if you're a student and here you want to take advantage of some of these scholarships I'm talking about, this is the time to get into it. This is the time to take a look at it and then see how you can benefit from it. So the Commonwealth Scholarship is also there. The Commonwealth Scholarship provides also generous funding for master's studies. One good thing about these scholarships, both the Schlumberger faculty, one good thing about the Commonwealth scholarship is that it's also funds your spouse, right? Commonwealth, but Schlumberger is not like that. Schlumberger, because it's exclusively for women, it will not fund your spouse. It will only fund your kids as well. It provides some form of support to your children. So in terms of child care, if you need child care support, they give funding for that, and then they provide funding for you to attend international conferences as well. So these are general scholarships that you can actually take hold of. And then we have the Shielding Scholarship. The Shielding Scholarship, supports students who are willing to go to the UK for their master's research. The World Academy of Science Scholarship also provides some generous funding to graduate students as well. So there are a whole lot of them. Apart from scholarship for academic, just please, a lot of activities that goes on. There is the Google Summer of Code, right? Google Summer of Code. Students in Africa, students across the world, every summer, Google organizes this Google Summer of Code. And students from the EMEA region, that is Europe, Middle East, and Africa, are given high acceptance into those programs. So what do? You immerse yourself in codes within the summer. It's a 10-week period. So you get to code, and then you're being directed by engineers from Google. You get this support from engineers from Google as you work on your code. We also have the Google Get Ahead program that is for advanced coders, because people who are very more proficient in Python, in C++, and in Java. So you also get to work with Google engineers during the period of summer. And I think that's a very good opportunity that you can take. Okay, so I want to stop it there with that message from my kids coming there. I'll stop it here. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very glad to speak to you. So if there is any question, I would be happy to answer any question.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Doc, for this wonderful section. I think I would say I learned a lot. No, it's not that I'm already into tech, but some of the insights and informations I think is one. It's worth this section. Like it's all joining the section and being here all this time. Thank you very much for making it a remarkable one and memorable one. So I think it's time for questions. You can raise your hand, then we'll give you permission to speak for you to ask your questions anywhere you're confused. But one thing that stood out for me is the part of getting a mentor and wise you're learning. Yeah, school will give you what they give you, or they give you at least they give you information. You know that okay, something like this actually exists, and they will give you the connection that you need and the certificate. It's left for you to go out there and make things for yourself. Is to go out there and make things for yourself, right? Um, yeah. So getting a mentor is one thing because when I started off, I didn't start with a mentor. So it's um kind of made my learning process kind of somehow I was in a loop, more like a loop, right? Repeating same thing often and on. And even if I had a mentor, that would say Joy do this, Joy do that, I would have known the pathway to go. So until I joined a community where and attended a tech events, which actually made me bring it back to our school to organize that particular event. That's when I understood that there's more to this thing than the eye can see. But then I thought tech is all about opening cyber cafe and studying printing stuff, right? But that actually gave me more insight on what it's all about. Lecturers will teach, right? Um, but if you don't have that conviction, you'll not know what it's all about. Then they teach us Java, what have you. But I don't understand the use case of those things. I just understand it. Let me pass exam. That was the mindset I had then, right? Let me pass the exam and just until I attended that event. So that's where the community that Doc mentioned about come into play. With community, you are open to wider information, wider knowledge of things happening within the region and over beyond. So thank you very much for this section. Please, if you have any question, raise your hand so we can unmute it and for you to ask those questions. And the scholarship opportunities, wow, that's great. Okay, yeah. Any question, any concern? So, Doc, I have question from my end. Is based on the scholarship part. Can somebody actually apply to those scholarships even before getting into those schools? Or is it after getting admission that you can apply?
Yeah, certainly. most of the scholarships will go hand in hand with the period you are applying for your admission, right? So, okay, let me start with, I'll talk about, I'll talk about them, as it concerns them specifically. For instance, for Schlumberger Faculty for the Future scholarship, you may not need to have an award letter. I mean, the admission letter with you at the moment you apply for this scholarship. So you can actually apply for this scholarship and then apply for admission at the same time. So you don't need to have your admission letter at hand before applying for this scholarship. The same thing applies to several of other of these scholarships, like a Chevening scholarship. I know that Chevening scholarship, you apply for you apply for admission, for master's admission possibly, and then at the same time you apply for this Chevening scholarship. So with that, you don't have to have the admission letter at hand, right, to apply for this scholarship. So several of them actually, but why some of them require that you already have admission, or you already been admitted into the school. Something like the Google scholarship I talked about would require that you are already in school doing some research, some tangible research that is also of interest to Google before you. There are a whole lot of those scholarships. Even Meta has a scholarship for even African students. So I didn't mention all of them because of time and space. But certainly for most of these scholarships, you don't need to have admission letter at hand before you can apply to them. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Quite interesting. Thank you very much for that. I don't know, one of the participants that I want a message, more like a question, although she will watch the video, but she left a question to ask in case it wasn't covered. It's actually around the mentorship part, right? She said, well, let me read it out. So for mentors, somebody that is starting out in tech, right, and needs a mentor, like would you advise the person to approach those mentors, right? To tell them, okay, that kind of a thing. Must you have only one mentor for a particular skill for what you want to learn, or is it specifically? And how do I go about it as a newbie?
Okay, that's actually a great question, right? So in terms of getting a mentor, right, there are several ways you can approach a mentor. Like before I started talking about mentorship, I talked about community, right? Attending community events, attending conferences, attending workshops, attending seminars. When you attend some of these events, right, you meet people who, who, if we are looking at people who are in the same field as yourself, right, that will give you a very good opportunity to approach them. There are so many ways you can approach them. You can strike a conversation at lunch break, right? Maybe this speaker have spoken during these conferences, and then you were whatsoever that she spoke kind of resonated with you. You can approach the person, strike a conversation during lunch break, or and then talk. Tell the person about yourself. Tell the person about what you are studying or what you are doing, and then ask for their support in terms of mentorship. That's one. You can reach out to mentors even on social media platform. Tech is also helping us in that aspect, right? You can reach out to mentors. I've had a lot of people who have reached out to me through social media, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, to say, see, Doc, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I need your guidance. I have students who connect with me from across the world, just to tell me what they are doing, and then ask for guidance and mentorship, and then we take it up from there. So these are some of the ways. Coming to the second part of the question, must the mentor be in your field? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that the mentor must be in your field. You can get mentors across field. It's very, very vital. And sometimes, even no matter your level as well, even as PhDs, we still, there are still some people we also look up to, right? Even in that level, there are still some people you look up to who have gone this journey far beyond you. Like I mentioned, I talked about the Hildeberg Laureate Forum at the beginning of my talk. I talk about being a member, a fellow, actually, of that Hildeberg Laureate Forum. Within that forum, we have laureates. We have those people who have done, who have laid the foundation for tech. People who have laid the foundation for tech. These are field marshals. These are people who have received Nobel prizes in tech, in mathematics and computer science. Even as in that level of, attaining a PhD, you still need these people. You need their guidance because they have told this path generations before you. And you are lucky they are still here. So why not take advantage of it? So meet mentors, not only in your field, across field. You don't need to be shy about doing that. It's your future, right? Take hold of it. So that's just my my advice. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much again for that and for the response here. I don't know if there's any other question, how to lock the meeting. Is there any question? You can raise your hand, else maybe we'll call it a day. But before we actually move, just know the next section of this call will happen soon. We'll let you know the date. And where we'll be having another professor, doctor that will be speaking to us on a particular topic. I think on that cyber security and the rest. But yeah, let's just keep our eyes glued on the screen and on our post for future events. Yeah. So thank you, Doc, for very much. Thank you everyone that joined this call today. See you next time we will call it today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a nice one.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye.